Imagine a town square, not one built from cobblestone and timber, but one woven from fiber optic cables and lines of code. A square where 3 billion people gather every single day to laugh, to argue, to fall in love, to mourn, to share the smallest moments of their lives with the entire world. This isn't a metaphor, this is meta. And the man who built this square didn't start with billions of dollars, a team of engineers, or a Silicon Valley master plan. He started with a laptop, a dorm room, and an idea so simple and so powerful that it would quietly rewrite the rules of human connection forever. This is the story of the most audacious gamble in the history of technology. A story about empire, obsession, reinvention, and a bet so enormous it could either cement one man's legacy as the greatest visionary of our time, or bury it under the weight of his own ambition. Welcome to Billionaire's Playbook. Tonight, we go inside Meta. It's 2003, Harvard University. The campus is buzzing with the quiet electricity of genius in the making. Inside a cluttered dormitory room in Kirkland House, a 19-year-old with sharp eyes and an even sharper mind is typing furiously. His name is Mark Elliott Zuckerberg. He's not thinking about money yet. He's thinking about people. Specifically, why connecting with them feels so unnecessarily complicated. He launches a site called FaceMash, pulling photos from Harvard student directories and letting users vote on who's more attractive. It crashes the university's servers in 2 hours. The administration is furious. Students are electrified. Zuckerberg sees something in that chaos that most people miss. He sees hunger, a deep, almost primal human desire to be seen, to be known, to be connected. By February 2004, the Facebook goes live. Within 24 hours, 1,200 Harvard students have signed up. Within a month, it spreads to Yale, Columbia, Stanford. Within a year, it's on campuses across America. The code is simple. The idea is ancient. The execution is flawless. By 2008, Facebook has 100 million users. By 2012, the number crosses 1 billion. 1 billion human beings voluntarily pouring their lives into a platform built by a 20-something college dropout who'd turned down a $1 million offer from a man named Rupert Murdoch before he was old enough to rent a car. The dorm room coder had become something else entirely. He had become an empire builder. Here's what separates good entrepreneurs from legendary ones: the ability to see threats before they become tsunamis. By 2012, Zuckerberg was watching a small photo-sharing app called Instagram quietly stealing the attention of young users. It had 13 employees and 0 revenue. He bought it for $1 billion. Wall Street laughed. The press called it reckless. They weren't laughing for long. 2 years later, a messaging platform called WhatsApp was pulling users away from Facebook's own messenger. It had 55 employees. Zuckerberg paid $19 billion for it, the largest acquisition of a venture-backed startup in history at the time. The world was stunned. Then came Oculus, a virtual reality startup born in a garage, funded through Kickstarter, dreaming of worlds that didn't yet exist. Zuckerberg paid $2 billion for it in 2014. People didn't just laugh this time, they were confused. What did a social network want with virtual reality headsets? The answer was becoming clearer by the year. Zuckerberg wasn't just building a social network. He was building a platform for platforms, a universe where human attention, the most valuable commodity on Earth, could be captured, held, analyzed, and monetized at a scale no one had ever imagined. By 2021, Facebook's family of apps had over 3.5 billion monthly active users. The advertising engine it had built was generating over $100 billion in annual revenue. It had become the 5th largest company in the world by market capitalization. The boy who built a college voting website had constructed one of the most profitable machines in human history. But machines, no matter how powerful, can become obsolete. And Zuckerberg knew it. October 28, 2021. A date that split the tech world in two. On that day, standing on a virtual stage that itself was a preview of things to come, Mark Zuckerberg looked into the camera and said words that would echo for years. "I've been thinking a lot about what comes next." Facebook was dead. Long live Meta. The rebrand wasn't just cosmetic. It was a declaration of war. Against the present, against convention, against anyone who thought the future of human interaction would look anything like the past. Zuckerberg was betting the entire company, tens of billions of dollars, and his own legacy on a concept that most people could barely define: the Metaverse, a fully immersive, interconnected digital universe. A world where you don't just scroll through your friends' vacation photos. You walk through their vacation, where you don't attend a business meeting on a video call. You sit across from your colleagues in a virtual boardroom that feels as real as the one down the hall, where the boundaries between physical and digital dissolve so completely that the distinction stops mattering. He called it the next chapter of the internet. His critics called it something else, a distraction, a fantasy, an escape from the mounting crises closing in around his original empire. But Zuckerberg has never been a man who backs down from a bet. Before we follow him into the metaverse, we need to understand what makes Meta so powerful in the first place, because it's not what most people think. Meta doesn't sell you anything. You've never handed Mark Zuckerberg $1. And yet, every time you scroll, every time you like, every time you linger a half-second longer on a video than you intended to, you're paying. Not with money, with something far more valuable. You're paying with attention. Meta's business is the architecture of human behavior. Its algorithms, some of the most sophisticated artificial intelligence systems ever built, study you. They learn what makes you stop scrolling, what makes you angry, what makes you laugh, what makes you stay. And they use that knowledge to sell the most precisely targeted advertising the world has ever seen. And then there was the metaverse itself, bleeding money at a rate that made even seasoned investors reach for antacids. Reality Labs, Meta's VR division, lost over $40 billion in just 3 years. The headsets were clunky. The virtual worlds felt empty. The avatars, notoriously, had no legs. The questions were no longer whispered. They were screamed. Had Zuckerberg lost his mind? Had the greatest empire builder of the internet age finally overplayed his hand? Here's what history teaches us about moments like this. When Jeff Bezos announced Amazon was building a cloud computing division in 2006, his own board thought he was delusional. When Elon Musk decided to build reusable rockets, physicists wrote papers explaining why it was impossible. Every transformation that reshaped the world looked like madness, right up until the moment it didn't. Meta today is not the company it was in 2021. The pivot shook it. The losses humbled it. The competition sharpened it. And from that pressure, something harder and more resilient emerged. The Quest headsets are selling. AI is being woven into every product Meta builds, into feeds, into advertising tools, into Ray-Ban smart glasses that let you navigate the physical world with digital intelligence layered on top. Threads launched to challenge Twitter and gained 100 million users in its first week. The advertising business bounced back, stronger and more AI-powered than before. But the central question remains. The gamble is still live. One thing is certain, whatever happens next, it will not be boring. Meta's story is not over. It's not even close to over. This is a company still run by its founder, still willing to burn billions in pursuit of a vision, still capable of surprising a world that has already underestimated it more than once. The biggest gambles in history never feel safe when they're being placed. They only look inevitable in hindsight. You've just stepped inside the Billionaire's playbook, and this is exactly what we do here. We go behind the headlines, past the stock tickers, and deep inside the decisions, the obsessions, and the audacious bets that build or break the empires of our time. If this story moved you, challenged you, or made you see the world a little differently, hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started. Every week, we pull back the curtain on the most powerful forces shaping our world.